This comes down to you having faith, doing something good, not just for yourself, but for other people as well.
We believe every Australian deserves a right to own at the very least 5 investment properties. I'm Adrian Trimboli.
And I'm Frank Ambezi, and welcome to the Invest in You podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome. The very, very first podcast ever. And I'm super excited. This is the first of our 5 building blocks. The 5 building blocks that you need to listen to prior to jumping in or prior to even thinking about investing, jumping into a business, doing whatever it is, taking your life to the next level. This is the very first of those 5. Okay. So Frank, like we said in our intro, this is a very much pinch yourselves moment. This is, we've worked very hard at getting this up and running. We've put in a lot of hours, thousands of well, maybe not thousands of hours into the podcast, 1,000 hours into our work. There's been dedication, there's been sacrifice, and there's been a clear vision, okay? Which very much ties into exactly what we're talking about today. And that is regarding mindset. Mindset is everything. And today, especially, we're going to be talking about the 9 steps to bulletproof your mindset. Okay. You are going to walk away with a set amount of steps to actually go out, bulletproof your mindset. And that's what we'll be hoping and trying to do with every single podcast. You walk away with actually something. But before that, as always, Mindset Minute. Every week, start of the session, we are going to be bringing you our Mindset Minute. So something that, Frank, you and I have either come across during the week or is in direct correlation to the topic of the day. And this one is a perfect one from Mr. Bill Gates. If you are born poor, it is not your mistake. If you die poor, it is your mistake. Very, very powerful. I think, Frank, we were actually talking about it the other day. Very powerful. You can be brought up in a home whereby money is seen as evil. For a lot of people, it is. You can be brought up in a home whereby dreaming is said to be a bad thing as well. Don't dream. That's silly. That's crazy. Don't think that big. Come down to us. Happens for a lot of us. I think it happened for the 2 of us, Frank. Now, we very much could have brought into that and put that limiter on ourselves, not ever started the business, not ever taken our health or your health or our health to the next level, and just kind of gone with what the norm is. And it ties very much into the topic that we are going to be talking about today, which is mindset is everything. And growing that mindset and changing that mindset from when you're born or when you actually have the ability to actually start thinking about it and actually putting in the things in motion to actually change that mindset. So very, very powerful quote, something we did discuss the other day, hence why we've raised it.
Very true. I think it's up to you to change the trajectory of your life. It's not up to anyone else, not up to your family, your mum, your dad, brothers or sisters, up to you. They bring you into this world, your parents, but it's not up to them. So it's up to you. I think it's a powerful quote. I think we've all got the capabilities to do anything we want in life, achieve anything we want, be anything we want. It just comes down to, I guess, you having to take the action once you hit that, that pinnacle point in your life where you start to get to in your teenage years, and then you start to go on from there and develop from there. So everyone's got the same start everyone starts at the same place. You might come up from a wealthy family. You might come up from a family that doesn't have as much money and it's more of a lower class or middle class generation. But there's nothing wrong with that because there's pros and cons in all sorts of walks of life. Doesn't matter if you're super rich or doesn't matter if you're poor. Sometimes the poor people might be more hungrier than what the super rich people were that come from families like that because maybe everything's given to them. So it all works pros and cons. So definitely, but powerful podcast. Powerful quote.
Absolutely. Now, today's topic, the 9 steps to bulletproof your mindset. Now, why you might be thinking, okay, property podcast, why the heck are we starting with mindset? Why is it even important? Well, because unfortunately, like it or not, through property, investing, relationships, business, throughout life, things are inevitably going to go wrong. Okay. Things will go wrong. There are things that are going to stuff up. Okay. Unfortunately, frankly, I mean, let's talk about property, right? You've been burnt in property. You've gone down the route of using a buyer's agent and been burnt and lost a lot of money. I myself have lost a lot of money, right? But that could have then been the right reason there for us to go, oh, this is too hard. Let's leave property. Let's stop investing. Let's not create a buyer's agency. Well, I'm just talking about that one aspect, right? There's areas all over your life that go wrong. But put simply, right, if we didn't have a vision, if we didn't have the mindset that we were going to get to a certain point of the business, we we're going to get to a certain point of our property portfolio, that's it. We gave up. So this is absolutely the most important part to anything. This is the first building block that you must get right, or you must at least start setting and putting things in place to get right, because this will evolve over time. It's still evolving for us. But you need to make sure that the mindset with whatever you're doing, it needs to be crystal clear, needs to be rock solid as well. So that's why we're starting off with mindset is everything. Okay. But rather than just fluffing off stuff, Frank, like we're always going to try and do, we're going to leave the viewers and the listeners with actual steps that they walk away with and they go, awesome, I can implement this today. So do you want to kick things off with the first and one of the most important?
So yeah, one of the most important one, which is number one for bulletproofing your mind, is faith. I think this is something that we forget about this in this day and age society. This is something that's left out. Now, faith can be something like a religion, or can be faith is just a higher spirit of you believing in something that's going to come into fruition. I think when we're both going down this path where we made a lot of mistakes, and we said, okay, how can we fix this? We decided not that pain made us shift. Now we started a buyer's agent business called Fresh Start Advisory, which we're helping people build property portfolios that won't affect their lifestyle, that's scalable, and that will put money in their pocket from day one. Now, whoever is listening to this and they've started a business, they know how hard it is to start a business. It's not easy. There's a lot of ups and downs. And when we were starting this business, we had to really, really sacrifice, but as well, we had to really have faith in the process that this was going to come into fruition. There was a lot of down days. There was a lot of time. There was a long period of time we did not pay ourselves a wage. My bank account went to zero, and eventually I had to start using credit cards, and I actually had to start using other people's money to help me, because I had this dream to bring into fruition. I had to do certain things. And through that, we had faith. Now, I'm a religious man. I'm a man of God. I go to church. I read the Bible. I'm not preaching here, but I'm just saying I believe in God does everything for a reason. And I believe in life, everything happens for a reason. Now, if you don't believe in God, that's okay. If you believe in a higher spirit, if you believe in the planet Earth, whatever it may be, okay, there's faith, because everything happens for a reason, and you have to believe in that. If it's good or bad, that bad thing is going to take you down a different road to make you go down to a good road. Maybe you've done something bad and you've gone down a path. Now that path that you're going on is going to be something that's going to take you to a fulfillment. So faith is super important, because you've got to believe in the process. Now, of course, if you're doing something bad and you're doing all these bad things, you can't have faith, because you're doing the wrong thing. This comes down to you having faith, doing something good, not just for yourself, but for other people as well. You have that faith that it's going to work out. Now, I'm not talking about just thinking faith and doing the same thing over and over and over again, because that's called insanity. I think Albert Einstein's quote was, doing the same thing, expecting a different result. That's not going to happen. You got to have faith. You got to change your result, but you got to have faith in the process of that journey of where you're going, and you believe that this thing's going to come true. If it's in your relationship, it's in your health or your business, whatever it may be, you got to have faith that's going to come true. And you just got to go. There's going to be ups and downs, and those down moments where it's the most important part to have faith. COVID hits. You can't be skeptical. You can't be sitting there. Look at my business; it's dropped. Oh my God, this is the worst thing that happened. You have to be faithful. Okay, how can we fix this? Okay, I found an idea. Let's pursue it. Let's do this. Stay positive. Don't get caught up on the news. Don't get caught up what everyone's doing. Same with your business. Same with your relationship. Same with everything in life. So I like to put this on number one, because this is something that we forget about, and I think it's not talked about at all, and it's super important.
That is very powerful, Frank. You are spitting fire on this Thursday morning. I love it. Beautiful. Beautiful. There you go. That's a good way to start it off. It's next one. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach the same heights, but next one, which ties hand in hand with, I guess, exactly what you just said, having faith. Something that have now been implementing for probably a better part of 2 years. Gratitude and journaling. Reminding yourself, yeah, you've got the faith, awesome, but also reminding yourself that you need to actually write it down. You don't have to do anything, but writing it down and getting it out of your head and actually putting it down on paper keeps you on track. And it's helped me very much so stay on track. Very much so.
Yeah, for sure. I think waking up and having gratitude for where you are today. So, 3 things we like to write down. I think we start off with our journal, how our body and how we're feeling internally. So writing down on a piece of paper, feel your awareness. If you're feeling anxious, you're feeling stressed, your body's feeling sore, write that stuff down. You're bringing awareness to, that cause. Then I guess what you're thinking about, what's on your mind. Something's on your mind from the night before or something that's happened in the past. Maybe you had a bad dream, whatever it is, bring that awareness out as well. Then I like to write as well 3 goals that you want to achieve this day. So this is all part of journaling. And then I guess 3 things you're grateful for. So which is super important because, you want to be grateful for things in the past. Maybe you went on a holiday with your parents, or maybe someone done something so really nice for you or your family, or whatever it may be. Maybe you purchased a property and everything went well. You want to be grateful for those moments and pick different moments or every single time when you sit there. Be grateful. Now, not grateful doesn't mean being content, but it means being grateful for where you are. Being grateful for having fresh bed sheets, or having food in the fridge, or having a roof over your head. I was at a birthday yesterday, and it was quite funny. People were talking about complaining, I guess, about property or where they live and things like that. And I just kind of looked, and then someone on the table said, "Oh, it could be worse. You could live in a third world country." And it's true. We live. You're listening to this, and you're in Australia, or if you're in America, wherever it may be. We live in a beautiful place. We're very lucky. We've got opportunity. So being grateful and having and journaling about this, about your awareness, it brings a lot out. It brings you awareness of your feelings, thoughts, feelings, and actions and reactions, which is super important because you want to be aware of what you're feeling and why you're maybe doing certain things if you're getting triggered or angry or stressed or anxious in the moment. And that's why we journal. And plus you journal because of gratitude.
For sure. And just reminding yourself. Yes, it can be hard in business. Yes, it can be hard in a relationship. Yes, it can be hard in, your health. But reminding yourself of the great things that you also have done, which is very important. Very important. All right, I love it. Which leads us into the next one. Frank.
Number 3.
Yep.
So your inner circle, the top 5 people, friends you hang around with, have an impact on your life. So if you've got a problem in your life, have a look at the people that are in your life, and this is something that's super powerful. Now, I'm not saying to dump all your friends or family members. I'm saying to just have a look of where you are in life, okay? Because, these people had a massive effect in our life, positive and negative as well, some of them. But as well, when we're growing to a certain extent and you're wanting to improve and go down different avenues, if it's maybe business or entrepreneur, journeys, or maybe your health and wellness, if your fitness and your career, whatever it may be, okay, you're going to have to, I guess, you're going down a path, and there's going to be, encounters with certain people maybe that can affect your spirit, can affect your trajectory, can affect your mindset or your personal health. So this is something to be aware of. You probably heard this a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners, a lot of, influential people talk about this is, if you've got a problem in your life, have a look at the people in your life. Now, there's people in my life, I still see all my friends and family. I haven't knocked off anyone. I said, I'm not going to see anymore, but I do reduce some time with certain people. And it's not because I don't like him. It's because I'm going in a different direction. And that's okay. I'm not criticizing them. I'm not judging them for what they're doing, but I'm going in a different direction completely to what they're doing. And so I have to surround myself with those people that I want to go in that direction with. And that's if that's with my business, if that's with my health, if that's with my relationship, whatever it may be, I'll need to surround myself with those certain people, because those people as well are going to help you become better people, better in your industry or whatever it may be, to move forward. Now, those people that you were in your past, is you still catch up with them. You still take them out for dinner, or you have your Christmas dinners or your Easter dinners, whatever it may be. You still catch up with them because those people there were with you from the beginning. Of course, if there's some really terrible people in your life that really done some bad things, then maybe you got to get with these people out of your life. That's maybe if you hang around people that were doing drugs and drinking and doing these things that were bad behavior, of course. But of course, if it's family members and friends that were just going in a different direction, you don't shut them off. You don't say go away from me, because this is not something that's not something that's ethical. You're not doing the right thing. Of course, these people had a massive effect, but you've got to make sure you're going down a track where if you're going somewhere, you need to surround yourself with people that can help you get there faster and quicker, if that makes sense.
That's right. I think one of our mentors said, as you guys attract more success in whatever area it is, automatically or naturally, you'll start to hover to those people who have also done that, because you now all of a sudden have the same interests. So whether you're doing a triathlon, Frank, you automatically and naturally start to hover to people who have been very successful in that field, because that's where your interest is at. Much like ourselves, business is so important. If I could speak about one topic in this world, it'd be about business now. So automatically I go out, I'm seeking people who are very successful in business because I love to learn from them, as opposed to talking about, what we were doing when we were 16 years old. There's, again, nothing wrong with it. I've not got rid of anyone in my life. But at the end of the day, when you work 80 hours a week and you've got 10 hours spare to dedicate and spend with, a few people, would you rather spend that with people who you have the same interests with now or not? And it's very important.
For sure.
But very, very important. Very important. Next one, exercising. So again, let's go back to what we're actually talking about. Bulletproofing your mind. Okay. Frank, I'm going to let you talk about this one, but doing this, and this is very, very difficult for a lot of people. I could probably say, naturally, I'm probably a lazy guy, if I to be honest with myself. Naturally, I love to lay down, sit on the couch, wake up late. Yeah, I probably do. But I know the effect that has on me when I show up as a man, for my business, as a leader, for yourself, for our team, as a, in everything, in my relationships. I know how I show up if I don't work out. And I know how I show up if I do work out. So
yeah, I think we're all lazy, aren't we, at some point?
Everyone, well, I don't know. I think naturally there are some people who,
Oh, I think it's a bit of discipline, to be honest. I think we all don't. I never used to like working out. I think I had to develop something to pursue. And why working out or exercising is so important for people listening to this. Listen to this. Now, when we wake up in the morning, there's a hormone called cortisol, and that is the flight or flight mechanism in our mind. That's the fear. That's the thing that makes us steer away from all the pain, all the things that are hard. And in the morning, it's at its highest peak when you wake up. Now, how do you lower that? Now, the way you lower that is by releasing serotonin and dopamine in your mind. And, by not taking drugs, like some people do, of course, because that's what it does. If you take certain drugs, that's going to release that. But by by doing physical exercise, moving your body, sweating, doing something for 20 minutes or more of, rigorous, of something that's going to activate your body to release those hormones, so that serotonin and dopamine, it's going to help you, I guess, be more positive, less stressed, less anxious, thinking clear, more creative, and just being more focused, because you're releasing those hormones and it's lowering the cortisol. It's super important. That's why I think a lot of people, when they go through depression or anxiety, a lot of people always say, do you exercise? And exercising is something that, for myself, I had to develop. For Adrian, for yourself, you had to develop. We wake up early. We do it in first thing in the morning. I wouldn't want to do it I don't want to do it in the afternoon, which I still do workouts in the afternoon, of course, because I do double sessions. But I'll rather do it in the morning. Why? Because that process of releasing that dopamine and serotonin can last nearly up to 16 hours a day. in one day. So why wouldn't you want to do it in first thing in the morning?
For sure.
You know, if you're feeling clear, positive, you're not feeling, you're grumpy, you're not having saggy eyes or bags under your eyes, you're feeling, energized. Why wouldn't you want to do it first thing in the morning? That's how I look at it anyway. But I'm a morning person. I developed that as a habit of just, putting in those steps every single day or every 5 days a week, whatever it may be, just slowly taking those steps. Even if you haven't done it before, start exercising, slowly implementing it. Don't just try and punch out, 5 days or 6 days a week, because that's when you're going to fail. We've got to gradually do something, implementing it, small steps, small achievable goals.
Yeah, awesome. I love it. I love it. Perfect. The next one, something that I guess has changed again, everything within my life. Everything that we're talking about here, is something that we are the test dummies for. We've implemented ourselves and we have seen the effects of it. So we're not just talking and grabbing information from Tony Robbins or Jim Rohn or this person and just throwing it here. It's stuff that we implement, something we do every single day, right? Next one is visualization / meditation. So every single morning, part of my morning routine, I meditate and I visualize. If you see in this room, right in front of me is exactly what my year is going to plan out. I've got pictures of where I want to be, whether it's my health, wealth, my relationship, what I want to invest in, what I want my body to look like, whatever it is. That's visualizing. I look at that every day. But every morning I meditate, and it allows you to just be with yourself every single day. Even at the middle of the day, 1:30, something goes off on my alarm. And it's a perfect thing to go take a breath and really breathe through the day for 10 minutes. And it just allows you to just center yourself. You come back, you feel like, wow, it's 7 o'clock again, and you've just got all this energy every single morning, every single day at 1:30, twice a day. You think, oh, I haven't got time for that. But then I question you, if at 5:30, I still feel like it's, say, 10 o'clock in the morning and I've still got, let's say, 2 to 3 hours left of work that I could potentially do. I don't do it because life is not just about work. Automatically, that gives you more time. If I can still punch out, say, the hard tasks, if I can still have the ability, the mental strength to go out and do a workout at 5:30 at night, that's, you're gaining time back. A little 10-minute of meditation during the day and a little meditation in the morning. So very, very important, super important.
For sure. I think the visualization I find is very impactful for me. There's a book called Think and Go Rich. If there's a book I could give to one of my kids, and there was probably 5 books I could only give them, I'll probably give them one of that book there. And that's a book talks about visualization and, I guess, affirmations as well. Saying what you want, saying it out loud. So in my journal, I've got a piece of paper of what I read out loud of what I want in life and what I'm going to do to help other people to achieve that. And then I visualize that. I sit there, close my eyes, like a meditation. There's all different types of meditation you can do. Mindful meditation to clear the mind. And then, of course, there's a visualization meditation of seeing, bring that thing into fruition, visualizing that on a consistent basis, on a daily basis. I think it's super powerful because it changes your subconscious mind and points you in a direction of what you want to attract in life. Now, by doing this, doesn't mean it's just going to come into fruition without actually putting any action steps in or actually trying to achieve it. You actually have to do that, but it's in your subconscious mind. And by you saying it over and over again and visualizing it, seeing it in your mind is going to bring awareness to where you want to go. Might sound crazy, might sound ludicrous, but this is what actually works. And I think meditation is good to clear the mind in the afternoon as well. Like Adrian said, taking some time, doing some breath work, taking big inhales in and then small inhales out, so some Wim Hof breathing, or you can do some nasal breathing, or you can do some passive breathing, whatever it may be, something that works for you. And that releases stress, which breathing is being shown, it releases stress. So, if you're in a state or you're triggered or something's happened, just taking a deep breath in and maybe doing 10 or 20 deep breaths in and out, that's going to change your state. So the meditation is going to relax you, and the visualization is going to change your subconscious mind to put you in a direction of what you want to achieve, attracting those things in life. Like I said, read that book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. One of the greatest books. Talks about, changing your subconscious mind. He talks about some of the biggest or the most successful people back in the early 1900s, and why they were successful and what they done. This guy studied these sort of people, and he wanted to know what their rituals were and what they were doing so differently to other people. And it's something that it works. It's something that, of course, you go develop and take action, but it's something that I guess is super important to build that mindset, that resiliency in your mind, and have that in your mind, stuck in your mind in your subconscious mind, if that makes sense.
For sure. Love it. Love it. Let's get into the next one.
Next one. This is one of my favorites. That can this one is one of my favorites because I think I used to do this a lot. And I think we all do. You know, comparing yourself to other people.
The comparison game. Yeah.
Not comparing, as a child, and we still do it. This is something we all do it. It doesn't matter like who you are and how strong your mindset is. Of course, there's times we still do it, but we develop this discipline to stop it from happening. And as a kid, I used to look at other people and copy other people to try and be like these other people. And these things aren't following your purpose, your values of what you want in life. So don't look at other people, some of the big influential people or some of these, athletes and whoever they are, and try and be like them, because you're not going to be like them. I remember Michael Jordan said one thing at his Hall of Fame speech. There's only one Michael Jordan. Because they always asking, when's the next Michael Jordan? Where's going to be the next, the next greatest player? And he came out and he goes, there's only one Michael Jordan. Just relax. Have a good time. And it's true. We can't compare ourselves to like these other people. And I remember when I was starting this business, I was looking at other people and I was comparing myself, and I was saying, I'm not that sort of person. Or I'm not, I'm not this. I don't have that charismatic or that really, really outgoing personality, or I can't do that. I'm not super confident. All these things, all these bullshit stories that we compare ourselves to other people. I sat down with two people, and one of them, I remember the second one that I sat down with I think it was in the same month. He said to me, he goes, don't compare yourself to other people. And I've heard this all the time. And I'm like, okay, it's true. But don't compare yourself to other people. Do you? Don't copy their podcast. Don't copy their business model, or, don't copy whatever they're doing. If their workout patterns or whatever, do what you want to do. If it's you want to do a triathlon, do a triathlon. If you want to start a business because it's something that aligns with your values and your heart, then go do that. Don't copy other people and try and be like other people, because that's going to destroy you. And that's what we see a lot on social media. Very dangerous. Social media is something that is destroying, I think, a lot of young children today, because they're comparing themselves to other people, trying to be like them, when really you should be yourself and be who you want to be. If you follow your own journey, your own path, it will take you to success. But if you're trying to follow someone else's, you're actually setting yourself up for failure, because you cannot do what they do, because you do not have the same values, the same spirit, the same faith, the same knowledge of what they're trying to achieve.
For sure. Comparison is a thief of joy. And it literally is. It takes away the joy of everything, essentially. Comparing. I mean, you can have a healthy relationship with comparing if it does motivate you, if it does push you, if it does aspire, you to get to the next level. Some people that does work. But for the most part, and for a lot of us, comparing actually puts you in a negative state, takes away that bulletproof mindset, and actually brings you to a point of, I can't do this. But if you can bring it the other way, amazing. Go for it. Which brings us to the next one, right? And this is something that we harp on about. This is our perfect client. As a buyer's agent, running a business, having someone with a growth mindset. Okay. Now, growth mindset is a massive topic. We could probably talk about it for a whole period, but essentially what it is understanding that you need to have this mindset whereby you're always looking to learn, you're always looking to seek more, you're always looking to look out externally to people who have achieved what you've achieved, and by going through to that particular person or team or whatever it is, you're going to achieve the better result. And almost looking at things like not a normal way. So how can I give an example on that, Frank?
I guess you want to have a different perspective and there's going to be people that will say things to you, how to do things, or you should do this, or you should do that, or how to run a business, or how to, be in a relationship. And you look at these people, if they're not successful in those areas, or they've had, if you're listening to someone's been divorced 5 times and they're telling you about relationships, they can have, I guess, some good point of view because they've learned a lot through those mistakes. And that's where you be an open mind to learn. But as well, you want to have a growth mindset to learn from someone that has been in a relationship maybe for 30 or 40 or 50 years, or someone that's a coach, or someone that's, professional in that area. Now, I feel like, you can't shut off everyone, but you've got to have a growth mindset to look at different points of view as well. And I guess take some bits and pieces, because some of them can be, I guess, good bits of information, and some can take you down the wrong route. And I think wanting to learn. So I think books is a massive, massive part of this. Learning from people. So you can listen to an audio book. So if you can't read, listen to an audio book. If you've got the time to read a book. You get so much wisdom through someone's knowledge, someone that's been super successful in certain areas, and you just get a different perspective. You can get, years of wisdom in a piece of book. And then listen to the podcasts, listen to what you're listening to today. And probably you've learned something. Maybe you learned something new, and implementing it, learning and growing, having an open mindset, not thinking that you know everything. As we were younger, I think we always knew, and our parents used to tell us a lot of things. We learned the hard way. But just listening as well, and just taking that on, I think that's super important. Is that what you're targeting, or what you wanted me to say, Age?
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I guess understanding also that in order to be someone that you've never been, you need to do something that you've actually never done, and you need to, if you're wanting to go down the route of, let's say, be a property investor, right? You need to start implementing things. First of all, you need to have a reality check. You may need to know, okay, I've not purchased a property. I don't know anything about property. That's the first step. And then going into that and realizing, okay, I've got to learn. Opening up your mind and growing and reading and doing whatever you can to learn. Also understanding that there's professionals out there who have achieved what I've achieved. Again, second really big thing, taking the ego away, going in with an open mind and wanting to learn from these people. Whether that means paying someone, right? There's a big theory, big thought process around paying someone. I'm not paying them, I can do it myself. For a lot of us, that's kind of how we've grown up, Frank. I've now very much realized, if you want a good result, anyone who's doing it for free, be alarmed. That's what happened with you. In order to pay someone, it means you're paying for their expertise. If I'm paying somebody who's purchased 15 properties and has the life that I'm aspiring to have, generally speaking, obviously do your due diligence. You're going to be purchasing essentially that 15 years or 20 years for a certain price, and it's going to fast track you. So having that mindset there, super important. Next one, second last one. I'll let you take it away, Frank.
I guess stop listening to people, I guess, that can take you in the wrong direction of your life. Now, it's kind of similar to what we've spoken to, what I just touched on before, but it's listening to people that aren't qualified in a certain industry or a certain field, that are pointing you in a direction of just giving you an opinion, but they're not qualified, or they haven't succeeded in that area, or there's no proof of them achieve, or how this works, or whatever it may be. Now, sometimes our parents can say to do something in a certain way or manner, tell us how to invest in property when they haven't gotten property themselves. So why would you listen to someone that hasn't got investment properties? Or you should do this, or you should do that, but they've never done it themselves. This is something that's super important, because if you're going to listen to people that aren't qualified, that are pointing you in a direction, that have no experience, no knowledge, no professional certification, or whatever it may be, they can point you in the right direction. But listening to too many people, some might be professionals in those areas, in those certain industries, they can take you down a wrong path as well. And this is why it's super important as well I like to say, listen to people that are well qualified, that are where you want to be in life, that have the things that you want in life. Okay, but don't listen to too many people, because what will happen is you're going to get taken down the direction of not knowing how to make a choice on your own. This comes back to you, what aligns with your values. I think it's super important. Like, you'll be feeling something, and someone can can change that feeling by an influence, and that feeling, then what will happen is you'll make a decision based on emotion, not logic. This happens to all of us, and that's why it's important to take the information from the right people and not get carried away, make the wrong decision, because we can make the wrong decision. That happens before. It's happened many of times in our lives. And you're probably listening to this and you're probably saying, you know what, there's been times I've listened to other people that aren't qualified. They've pointed me in the wrong direction and something bad has happened to my life or something hasn't worked out. And that's why it's super important to just really, really pull back sometimes. Listen to those people. If it's some very small handful that are really successful in those areas that you want to be in, like I said, if it's in your relationship, listen to someone that's got a thriving relationship or someone that's a coach. Maybe if you're listening to someone that's been divorced multiple times and they haven't been remarried, or they've always struggled in a relationship, probably not best to speak to those people about getting relationship advice. Same goes with investing. If you're going to listen to your parents and they're telling you where to invest or don't invest there, or you should invest here, but they haven't got any investment properties, or they've only got 1 or 2 investment properties, but they're living a lifestyle that you want to live, and that's something where you want to have a massive passive income flow of your cash flow coming in, and you want to be able to retire at a certain age, and they're not where you want to be. Maybe you should consider who you're taking that information from.
Opinions are like assholes, Frank. Everyone has them.
Exactly.
Everyone has an opinion, right? And yeah, it's right. I think it's very, very easy to sit on the sideline and say, don't invest there. But if you've got no money in the game, if you've got no skin in the game, it's very, very easy. Much like a relationship, much like a business owner. If you've got a business owner working 90 hours a week, doesn't make an awful amount of money, and doesn't have the business that you'd like to run, it doesn't make sense to listen to that person, does it? So
exactly
very
right.
important. I think
sorry to cut you off. It's like listening to me to tell you go invest in this stock because this company is doing X, Y, and Z, and it's going to do something in the future. But I'm not a stock specialist. I'm not someone that's an advisor. And you take my information, you go buy the stock, and all of a sudden it just drops the next day. Same thing, if anything. So just making sure you're getting the right information, which leads us to number 10 or number 9. Sorry, a very last
number 9, the final. And to tie it really all together, because this is all great. And you've got the steps here. We've spoken about faith. We've spoken about gratitude and journaling. We've spoken about your top 5 friends or your inner circle, exercising, visualizing, comparison game, growth mindset. Stop listening to people, because everyone's opinions are like whatever they like. I won't say the word. I've already said it. Tying it all together, it does not mean shit if you haven't got consistency and you have not got dedication. Okay, it does not mean anything if you haven't got all of those tied together and you're not consistent with all of these. Every single one of these things should be implemented every day, right? All 8 of those. And then you obviously need to put your head down, your bum up, and dedicate to the craft, whatever you're trying to achieve. Certain physical goal, certain relationship, certain business, certain position at your job. You need to dedicate and you need to be consistent with whatever you're doing and push through and push through and push through. On top of having the vision and having all that, which we're going to touch on in the next session, but without consistency, so without actually getting up every day and going through the tasks every day, and without actually dedicating to the craft, all of this means nothing. You might as well throw out the entire 8 and just give up on it all.
Yeah, exactly. I think discipline. I think I heard a quote: "Discipline equals freedom" by Jocko Winks, who's a Navy SEAL, an ex-Navy SEAL, special ops, and it's so true. When I heard that, discipline equals freedom. Consistency, being dedicated, and doing the discipline things. It's very hard. There's a lot of days I don't want to wake up and go do the workout or meditate or journal, and there's been days, of course, I've skipped, but I don't do it on a consistent basis. I don't fulfill the roles that I have to do or the tasks I have to do in my business, because the business wouldn't be where it's at. It's being consistent. Now, of course, you're going to have times you don't want to do it. Then that's where your discipline and your consistency and your dedication has to come in. And I think your purpose is something that, shines. If you have a purpose, you will do those things and they'll fulfill you because you have something that you're working towards. So I think purpose comes down a lot to this as well. Doing the things that you align with you. And of course, there's going to be a lot of times you don't want to do it. I love working out. There's a lot of days I don't want to work out, but I do it. And I build that muscle. It's like a muscle. You have to build that muscle to make it grow. If you do not build that muscle, make it grow, you're not going to get the result you need. And this comes with everything what was spoken about today. It comes with consistency, discipline, and dedication of moving forward and growing on those things. Eventually, they become very easy, subconsciously in our mind. We do it naturally. We go to bed at a certain time, wake up at a certain time, naturally all the time. We brush our teeth the same way every single day. Why? In the same pattern. Why? Because it's been discipline after discipline. As a kid, you did not want to brush your teeth. I remember mum nagging me, brush them twice a day. But eventually you start doing it, and then what happens? It's easy. It's something that you do over and over again. Same goes with this. Everything you do here today, these steps, by doing it every single day, you're going to develop those skills. Not talent, it's called skill. And that dedication, that discipline is going to equal freedom. And we'll talk more about this. I think we're going to do five piece on this, on mindset. And I think we might have to add a couple more, because I got a couple more things I'd like to talk about. Pain and pleasure, how to drive yourself, to not just, how to get the most out of yourself, because you're using you're changing your mindset, which is a bit of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, which we'll talk more about. But let's go back. Let's go to the top. Let's go to the top 9. Let's start off. We've got faith, having faith. We've got gratitude and journaling. Being grateful for where you are and journaling. Your inner circle, so the top 5 people you hang around with on a consistent basis will have an effect on your life. If you're having a problem in your life, have a look at the people in your life. Exercising, super important. Moving your body, sweating, releasing that dopamine, serotonin, and reducing that cortisol. Visualizing, meditating, and breath work. Doing this in the morning and afternoon. If you want to do some meditation, breath work as well, you do in the morning to release stress and anxiety. Something that is proven. Look at these things. Read a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Talks about visualization. Now we're going to talk about the comparing game of comparing yourself to other people. Do not do that. If you're comparing yourself, run your own race. Don't run someone else's. I remember Michael Jordan said that they asked him in the interview, who is the number 1 competitor when you're out there on the field? And he goes, myself. He didn't say anyone else. He didn't say any other player. He said himself. And that's true, because you look at that person in the mirror every single day. That is the person you have to beat, yourself. Mm-hmm. Growth mindset, always growing, wanting to learn, listening to podcasts, reading books, taking on other people's opinions to certain degrees, but having an open mind, taking on new information, not being stuck in ways, growing. If you are eating Doritos and watching TV every single day, you're not having a growth mindset because you're comfortable. Get out of your comfort zone a bit. Learn something new. Develop something new. Stop listening to people that aren't qualified, which is number 8. So not taking on people's information that aren't where you want to be, and taking that on as gospel and doing those things, and they're not putting you in the right direction. Listening to people are where you want to be in life. They're super successful in those areas of your life, and taking on that information and doing those things, but not as well taking on too much information where it's steering you in the wrong direction because you're undecisive, because you've got too much overload going through your brain. So there's a couple of people and pointing you in the right direction. If it doesn't sit well with your gut, then you're a gut person, gut feel person. Maybe don't go down that direction. And which is number 9, the very last, is consistency, dedication, and discipline. Doing that every single day, implementing those habits to build that muscle up. It's like a muscle. You need to make it grow. You have to be consistently developing it. And same goes with your mindset. It's the same thing. So it works.
That is a bulletproof mindset after all that. Implement the 9. Again, as always, if you need extra assistance on this, go to our InvestInYou page, flick us a message or an email. They'll be in the call notes, and we've got documents for this. We've got documents and more assistance for this, but that is your 9. Implement them every day. Frank, I love it. Thank you so much for sticking around. Again, InvestInYou Facebook page as the InvestInYou podcast. But thank you enough, and thank you. We'll see you on the next episode.
Ciao.
If you like today's podcast, then you're absolutely going to love the InvestInYou Facebook group, where we share a bunch of valuable tips and tricks on property investing for our exclusive community. Come join us and let's level up.